First, thank you for your invitation on this conference. As I said, it will be better uh, to be in one classroom in Catania on your faculty, but never mind. Um, um, uh, I'm sure that we will share our knowledge on these uh, on this topic. So first, I would like to share our Slovenian experience with turbo roundabouts. Um, you need to know that the idea transferred to Slovenia very fast because of several reasons. In Slovenia, we have a specific problem that people do not like to use the inner circulatory lane, especially young drivers and elderly people. Another reason is that unculture and wrong traffic habits, because when you change a lane in standard two-lane roundabout, nobody care, nobody knows the right rules. In the past, we made two small double-lane roundabouts in Slovenia, so nobody care about inner circulatory lane. Consequently, we have a low traffic safety level for standard multi-lane roundabouts in Slovenia, and in the year 2006, the first idea of implementing turbo roundabouts in Slovenia started. Additional reasons for implementing the turbo roundabout in Slovenia are two very important persons. First one is Mr. Zoran Kenic, who is senior expert for road design and road safety on their Ministry of Infrastructure and Water Management, on the Dutch National Road Authority, because our faculty and their ministry is very strong, lasts more than 20 years. And the second reason, the second person which is responsible that the idea of turbo roundabouts transport in Slovenia very fast was Dr. Bertus Fortein, who is the father of the turbo roundabout. About introduction process, we started without knowledge, without experience, without literature. First, we made the detailed existing literature analysis, and most of this literature were in Dutch language. So for you who are informed about Dutch language, it's a mixture between English and German. So we have been like small young children in primary school looking just at figures. After that, we make two visits in South Netherlands and make a site examination of about 20 achieved examples of turbo roundabouts. We acquired design documentation from colleagues on their Ministry of Transport and Water Resources and exchange opinion with turbos roundabouts father, Dr. Fortein. At the moment, in Slovenia, we have about 32 standard two-lane roundabouts. It seems not too many, but it is too many because Slovenia is a very small country, and 32 roundabouts all over the Slovenia is a lot. We have also one four-lane traffic lighted turbo roundabout in the capital of Slovenia, in Ljubljana, which is traffic lighted. That means semaphore on each approach. At the moment, we have also two assembled turbo roundabouts as a temporary solution because we need to solve immediately the traffic safety problems in existing um, at grade four-arm intersections. And some of these turbo roundabouts in Slovenia at the moment are also under construction. In November 2013, we made the first traffic safety analysis of Slovenian turbo roundabout, and the analysis covered only those turbo roundabouts that were built by reconstruction of previous at-grade intersections into turbo roundabouts. So the analysis did not cover the turbo roundabouts which are built on the location where no intersections had existed in the past. The results of this traffic safety analysis are very interesting. Following the police data about accident, we can say that in general turbo roundabouts in Slovenia have met the expectations, because at the beginning nobody knows that the situation will be, let me say, the same like in Holland. We can stress two things: a large capacity and high level of traffic safety. Traffic accidents in Slovenian turbo roundabouts are, let me say, an exception and not a rule, and these accidents normally result only in material damages. According to statistical data about traffic accidents, we found that in 10 turbo roundabouts, which has been analyzed, that in 10 years, just few traffic accidents happened. But more important for us was driver opinion. Okay, we are engineers, but we don't know how people will use this novelty. So driver's opinion, or let me say vox populi, was very important for us. And we were very impressed because of their opinion. Drivers said that it's very good option because I'm all time on my own lane. Nobody disturb me. I am on my own lane. There is no weaving conflict points in circulatory carriageway. It is always clear who have the priority, and there is no doubt when driving in inner circulatory carriageway. We also they impressed also their opinion that this is lower speed compared to standard multi-lane roundabouts, and impress also that these signposts and road markings are easily understood and unmistakable. Okay, at the beginning, we encounter specific problem because of the weather conditions, because usually in Slovenia in the past, we have, let me say, 15 or 20 centimeters of snow in one night. So we have, at the beginning, we have problem with snow plowing, but we already find a good solution to put two markers on both sides of the gate of the entrance to the inner circulatory carriageway, and we do not have any problems because of raised curb on circulatory carriageway with the motorcyclists. You can believe me because I am on this figure. So, Slovenian typical turbo roundabout differ than typical Dutch turbo roundabout. We change a little bit dimensions of their turbo roundabout in order to suit the Slovenian conditions. I can say that Slovenian typical turbo differ from Dutch turbo in four things. The first one is that our turbo roundabouts are smaller than Dutch. Sometimes we use separation of entry and exit lanes with intermediate splitter island. We usually do not use peaks, and we have different design of the entrance to the inner circulatory lane. Although we tried both ways, we found it that the shape, smooth S-curve, for our circumstances, is better than perpendicular. We also make some innovations in our turbo roundabouts. One of them is additional splitter islands on the entrance and exit. And the second one is zigzag pedestrian cycle crossing. In case if we have a lot of pedestrians or cyclists crossing the arm of turbo roundabout, we usually install additional separated island with a width of 2.5 meters to prevent people crossing or cycling across the approach. And this zigzag pedestrian crossing is also a good solution because you need to cross one by one lane. When you cross from the right side, you can look on the traffic which are coming from your left side, and you don't need to care about traffic or on both sides of the road. When you cross, you have a visual contact with the approaching traffic on the next lane and then cross more safe. About rise curb, I'm sure that it will be a questions for this. We started with the high of this raised curb of 10 centimeters, later 7, and nowadays we have the high of this raised curb just only 5 centimeters because everybody understands what is turbo roundabout and this is not allowed to cross this. In 2010, after first 10 turbo roundabouts, we made our first Slovenian guidelines. 2 years ago, we make a corrections and complement of new Slovenian guidelines for turbo roundabout. Between these two terms, our Slovenian Traffic Safety Agency made two very strong campaigns for education of elderly drivers because they have not been informed enough how to drive on turbo roundabouts. And we resigned to achieve that standard 2 and 3 lane roundabouts are not safe enough for Slovenian. So standard multi-lane roundabouts or conventional multi-lane roundabouts are no longer allowed in Slovenia since 2010. That means that we don't design, we don't make new standard 2-lane roundabouts because we know that it exists a turbo roundabout. So maybe just a few information about this raised curb worldwide, because things differ from country to country. So you can see here that in Germany, they started with turbo roundabouts without curbs, just road marking, and they had a bad experience. In a turbo roundabout with only painting road marking, nothing prevent people to make a weaving in circulatory carriageway. So the result was that in 1 year and a half, it was about 36 or 37, I don't know exactly, accident in this first turbo roundabout in Germany. In Czech Republic, in Brno and Olomouc, they also made turbo roundabout without raised curbs, only road marking, and I'm not sure that they are satisfied with them. On the opposite side, in Hungary, in city Szolnok, they made the first turbo roundabout in 2009, but they made too much divided curves. These divided curves are very dangerous for participants. Also in Indiana, in city of Carmel. Carmel is the capital of roundabouts in United States. They have very good experience in both turbo roundabouts. They do not have any crash data, but nobody care about road marking. People use both lines at the entrance. Also in former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, in the city of Skopje, which is the capital of North Macedonia, they have one turbo roundabout since 2011. They have very good experiences with raised curb. Also, although you can see that they use these splitter islands for additional parking places. The same story is also in Lithuania and Canada. They don't make road marking, but they don't also use raised curbs. They use mild noise strips, but I do not have traffic safety data for these types. And because Croatia is very influenced by rulers from Slovenia, they also have the same guidelines like we have in Slovenia, and they use divided curbs, and they have very good experience. So, for conclusion, turbo roundabouts in different countries differ in their layout. In cases of turbo roundabouts, there is not only one route, so each country needs to walk its own path, because a certain solution which is safe in one country could be very dangerous in another. And verbatim copying of foreign guidelines could be dangerous and can lead to effects that are completely opposite than expected. At the end, I'm waiting for a first turbo roundabout in Italy, and if you need my help, some suggestions when designing turbo roundabouts in Italy, I'm available and I will be very happy. Thank you very much.